Good morning and welcome to another week of Church at Home for Stony Stratford Community Church. I'm Stuart, I'm the Associate Minister of the Church, and today we're going to do things slightly differently, that we're going to hear from a few other people who are going to share some stories of what God's been doing in their lives and how they've seen him at work in these times that we live in. Are very strange, aren't they? If you're joining in for our Zoom gathering afterwards, there will be an opportunity to share more stories there. We just want very brief stories, but that's something you might just want to have in the back of your mind as we go through the next half an hour or so. First, let's worship the Lord together. Louise is going to lead us.
Good morning, everyone. Thought we'd just start this morning by reading a passage from Isaiah and also from Romans. Don't you know, haven't you heard? The Lord is the everlasting God. He created all the world. He never grows tired or weary. No one understands his thoughts. He strengthens those who are weak and tired. Even those who are young grow weak. Young men can fall exhausted. But those who trust in the Lord for help will find their strength renewed. They will rise on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not grow weak. I am certain that nothing can separate us from his love, neither death nor life, neither angels nor other heavenly rulers or powers, neither the present nor the future, neither the world above nor the world below. There is nothing in all creation that can be able to separate us from the love of God, which is ours through Christ Jesus, our Lord. Let's sing together, What a Beautiful Name.
Didn't want
nothing can stand against. What a powerful name it is, the name of Jesus. What a powerful name it is, the name of Jesus. Peace, bring it all to peace. Storm surrounding me, let it break. At your name still, call the sea to still, the raging me to still, every wave. At your name, Jesus, Jesus. You make the darkness tremble, Jesus, Jesus. You silence me, Jesus, Jesus. You make the darkness tremble, Jesus, Jesus. Breathe, call these bones to live, call these lungs to sing once again. I will praise Jesus, Jesus. You made the darkness tremble, Jesus, Jesus. You silence me, Jesus, Jesus. You made the darkness tremble, Jesus, Jesus. Jesus, Jesus. You make the darkness tremble, Jesus, Jesus. You silence me, Jesus, Jesus. You make the darkness tremble, Jesus, Jesus. Your name is a light that the shadows can't deny. Your name cannot be overcome. Your name is a light forever lifted high. Your name cannot be overcome. Jesus, Jesus. You make the darkness tremble, Jesus, Jesus. You silence me, Jesus, Jesus. You make the darkness tremble, Jesus, Jesus. Your name is a light that the shadows can't deny. Your name cannot be overcome. Your name is a light forever lifted high. Your name cannot be overcome. Jesus, Jesus. You make the darkness tremble, Jesus, Jesus. You silence me, Jesus, Jesus. You make the darkness tremble, Jesus, Jesus. Jesus, Jesus. You make the darkness tremble, Jesus, Jesus. You silence fear, Jesus, Jesus. You make the darkness tremble, Jesus, Jesus. Jesus, Holy and Anointed One, Jesus, 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 risen and exalted One, Jesus, your name is like honey on my lips, your spirit like water to my soul, your word is a lamp unto my feet. Jesus, I love you, I love you. Jesus, Jesus, Holy and Anointed One, Jesus, 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 risen and exalted One, Jesus, your name is like honey on my lips, your spirit like water to my soul, your word is a lamp unto my feet. Jesus, I love you, I love you. Jesus, Holy and Anointed One,
Now, before we hear some of those stories that I mentioned, I want to say a few words about money. Now, we understand that this is a really challenging time for many of you. And so we're especially grateful for the giving that continues towards the kingdom work that goes on through our church and beyond that as well. If you're on our email list, then you may well have seen the update from our treasurer about finances and how you can give. If you haven't seen it already, then I'd encourage you to take a look at it. Just want to highlight a couple of points. The first is this, that the best and the most tax efficient way of giving, if it's appropriate to you in your circumstances at this time, is by standing order. Thank you for those who have chosen to continue to give in this way. And if you're thinking that that might be something that you could get involved with and you could give in that way, then please do contact the church office for some more details. Now, if you're more of an offering bag being passed around sort of person, then it's a little bit more difficult at the moment. And those contributions are still significant. They do add up, and we're missing those donations at the moment. They do add up to a lot. So we've added a new way to give, and hopefully there is a link that is appearing on the screen about now. And we'll have it up as well at the end of the service. And it's a way that you can do one-off gifts. There's no obligation, there is no expectation, but if it is helpful and you'd like to use it, then please do so. Do have a look at that email that I mentioned to see more about how you can give and how you can support the work of the church. Thank you for all the giving that you do give. It is really, really appreciated. Now, those stories. I do have some bad news and I have some good news. The bad news is that because we do have some stories from other people, it means you're not going to get to see so much of me. The good news is because we've got some stories from other people, you're not going to get to see so much of me. Have a listen to these stories from Richard, Nikki and Chris.
Good morning, everyone. I just want to give you a brief story about God's goodness in spite of me. So, last Friday night, I made a trip to Tesco late at night, about 7 o'clock, thinking that it would be quiet and a good time to go. It was raining and I still had to queue for about 15-20 minutes to get in. So I was feeling a little bit grumpy, and I only had one item to get. And the item I had to get was mini bell cheeses. Now you might think, well, why did I need to do that? Well, somebody in the family lost a filling during the day, couldn't get to see the dentist, couldn't find a temporary filling anywhere, and we found that the red wax round Edam type cheese is perfect as a temporary filling. So I went out just for that. Managed to walk around Tesco with my very large trolley because they don't have baskets, feeling a little bit silly, I guess, and also feeling a little bit grumpy because I had to wait long in the rain and all that sort of thing. Anyway, I'd gone out with just my Tesco debit card because I couldn't find my credit card. I'd spent about 45 minutes looking for it, couldn't find it anywhere. And hadn't used this card before, but I thought it'll be fine. All I need to do is just swipe it and it'll be no problem, won't have to know my PIN. So I got to the checkout, was about to pay, put my card, went to swipe it, and it said, you have to enter your PIN. Oh dear, I had no other form of, I didn't have any money on me, I didn't have any other cards or anything, and I didn't know my PIN. So I would like to say that I sent up an arrow help prayer to God, but do you know what? I didn't do that at all. I just walked away a few yards, phoned Joe, said, I'm really sorry, but you're going to have to come out in the rain and pay for this packet of cheese. So I walked back to the checkout, and there was a 30-year-old guy just behind me in the queue, and he said, what's the problem? And I explained, and he said, before I could say anything else, he just put his phone up against the cash machine and paid it. And he said, it's my good deed for the day, think nothing of it. And I was just totally taken by surprise. I didn't know what to say to him. So I just thanked him profusely, and I said, what's your name? And he said, my name's Stephen. So I walked away to the car, feeling, I don't know, bemused, a little bit in shock, if I'm honest, but I was still feeling grumpy because I had to go out and do it, and I felt stupid, and all kinds of emotions went through my head. And it wasn't until I got home that I actually thought, so I thought I was supposed to be the one doing the generous things, and yet somebody's been generous to me and I don't know how to react to it. And then it wasn't until I thought about that I realised that God was just showing me that in spite of me, even when I'm grumpy, he is there for me. Even when I don't pray, he is good and he provides for me. And it was just quite an amazing thought. So take home message: don't let frustration or anything else steal the joy of expecting and experiencing God's goodness, which is available to all of us in every situation, grumpy or not.
I just wanted to share a bit of testimony about how faithful God has been to me in the last 4 weeks of all this coronavirus stuff. And I'm sure the same as, loads of people, everything has changed. I'm not that great at change, especially when it's everything all at once. And the things that I'm used to doing and having there to help me, get through, to keep me sane, just aren't there anymore. And that's been really challenging. But God has really just really helped me. He's prompted me to try this sort of thing to sort me out, or reminded me about things that he's shown me in the past that are sort of timely just for now. And he's really shown me and really helped me and shown me ways to make our family life work, so that we all stay hopefully in one piece, and bring our family life together. And I just really wanted to say thank you to him, and share that with our church family. I also wanted to God brought to mind some verses from Hebrews 11. So I'm just going to read those to you. It says, "Now faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see." And a little bit further down, "And without faith it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to him must believe that he exists and that he rewards those who earnestly seek him." And I was really captivated by those verses when I was a teenager, and I'd not long been a Christian, sort of in those first early years. And they really sort of puzzled me a bit, but they really I really wanted to understand what they meant, because they seemed so important and a bit intriguing. And I think that they really show how our faith in God is really linked to his faithfulness to us, and that when he shows his faithfulness, that builds our faith in him, that builds our belief in him, and it spurs us on to do what it's saying in that verse, to earnestly seek him, because we see and we have experience of him loving us and being there for us and being faithful to us day in, day out, even when we are not faithful. Over the last 30 years, since I kind of first looked at those verses, really, God has shown that again and again. And there have been great times in life, and there have been really hard times, tough times, times that are a struggle. But God has always been there. It's not always been easy, and I haven't always done the things that he's asked me to, or suggested, or the ways forward with things that he has shown me, because I'm human and I don't always do the right stuff. But he just keeps going. He keeps pursuing me. He keeps loving me. He keeps going in his faithfulness, even when my faith is lacking. I just think those are really encouraging words from Hebrews. And then the last thing I wanted to do was just to read you Psalm 23 from the Message, because I just think the words are really encouraging and really help us to build our belief and our faith in God, to keep going. "God, my shepherd, I don't need a thing. You have bedded me down in lush meadows. You find me quiet pools to drink from. True to your word, you let me catch my breath and send me in the right direction. Even when the way goes through Death Valley, I'm not afraid when you walk at my side. Your trusty shepherd's crook makes me feel secure. You serve me a 6-course dinner right in front of my enemies. You revive my drooping head. My cup brims with blessing. Your beauty and love chase after me every day of my life. I'm back home in the house of God for the rest of my life." And I just hope that over these next 4 weeks, the 4 weeks have gone, the next 4 weeks, or however many weeks to go, all this stuff, that you would be able to pursue God too and see his faithfulness to you as things unfold. Thanks, see ya.
Good morning, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Richard Lee. I work for Milton Keynes Council, part of the youth team. I hope you're all staying as safe and as well as you can during this time. I just want to share a bit about what I've seen God doing in my work and the work of my team at this very unique time. So inevitably, we can't now work face to face with young people unless they're identified as critically vulnerable. And so what that means is we've had to move to doing a lot of social media work and a lot of online group sessions and individual sessions. God really blessed us by the last 12 months allowing us to recruit somebody who is an expert in engaging with young people on social media and also somebody who is incredibly tech savvy. Without those skills that those two people have brought, we would really struggle to be engaging with lots of our young people now, but because we have them, we're actually able to offer a really good service to those young people so they feel supported in a time where they need as much, if not more, support. So I just want to encourage you that God really has put people in the right place. Another example, some of the team have been redeployed to work for the Food Bank Extra, and one of those people who again we've recruited recently has an extensive background in warehouse work, and so has been able to guide and support the Food Bank Extra development in Milton Keynes so that they have a more efficient, structured process that means the food can get to those in need, those vulnerable families, quicker. Alongside that, God blessed us by allowing us to set up an agreement with a Fair Share food company in Milton Keynes, and that has meant that we can provide food for young people across Milton Keynes that we work with. In this specific instance, it's meant that we can provide food for those vulnerable young people and their families while they get signposted and set up on the Food Bank Extra scheme, so they're not going hungry while they get that service sorted. Which again is just another way that God has really blessed us, blessed the team, and also blessed the vulnerable young people and families. I just want to encourage you that this is going to be happening across the country, across the world, whether it's Milton Keynes Council, whether it's the government, whether it's councils or governments in other countries. God has seen this, he's in this now, but also he knew it was coming, and he's put people in the right places so that those skills are there, so that the response can be efficient, the response can get to those people most in need, and people aren't left where possible without the support they need, whether it's resource, whether it's companionship via telephone or online services. So I just want to encourage you that our God is great, our God is bigger than this, and our God has seen this, he's put things in the right place. So yeah, just be encouraged. Take care of yourselves, God bless you all, and hopefully we'll all be able to meet up soon. Take care, God bless.
It was great to be able to hear from some other people, and thank you to Richard, to Nikki, to Chris for being brave and for recording those and sending them in to us. If you have a story that you would like to share, then please do record it and send it to us, because we'd like to do some more of these types of services in the weeks ahead. As we finish, I was reminded this week of the words from Romans chapter 8 and verse 28. It's quite a well-known verse. You may well be familiar with it. And it says this: "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose." Now, this is not to say that everything is good, because clearly everything isn't good. But as we've heard in these stories today, God is at work even when things are not good. He's always up to things. And it's good for us to recognise that, to celebrate it, to talk about it, because it's the sort of encouragement that we all need. Thank you for joining us today. Please do come and join in with the Zoom Hangout following this. The details will appear at the end, and hopefully a few of you might just have some brief testimonies of your own that you can share with everyone there. But whether you join us or not, I just want to pray this for you. I pray that today you would know the goodness of Jesus at work in your life. Amen.